Okay, so here's one on bad bosses, bad manager behavior that I'm going to talk about for a second. So the story goes, I'm going to talk to you about a jerk boss who started selling Amway from his office. He was pressuring all of his staff to buy stuff and implied that people buying from him and or join him in the pyramid would benefit from it. They'd get raises, extra vacation, etc. He also tried to get the company to start purchasing through his side business. I reported him, and when HR asked him if it was true, he said, "Sure, do you want in?" Bam, escorted out the door. So the bigger problem with this is when you're a manager or when you're the owner, you automatically have an unequal power position, right? You're able to directly influence someone's pay or whether or not they even have a job. So naturally, they're not going to react to you the way they would if you were just friends or partners or whatever. They're going to have to give some consideration to the fact that you have the power to cause them harm and they don't necessarily have the way to reciprocate or defend themselves. So if you come to them and say, "Hey, I want you to buy some, Girl Scout cookies or some Tupperware for my Tupperware party," or Amway in this case, they don't have the same ability to make an independent decision like somebody on the street would, or a friend would, or a family member would, and tell you, "Yeah, I would be interested in that," or "No, in most cases, I don't want your crap. Please don't ask me again to buy it." They're going to have to think about it a little differently. And that's obviously inherently unfair. You're using your position, whether intentionally or not, but it's hard to imagine most people don't understand this, to coerce them to do something they don't really want to do. Even if they end up buying your stuff, they're going to kind of resent it if they didn't really want it, which is probably what you would imagine would be true in most cases. And it really upsets the power dynamic there, and their interest in being motivated and working hard because they feel like they're being taken advantage of, which they are. So if you're in a position to be an owner or a manager, you have to be very careful with how you behave and not inadvertently make somebody uncomfortable or feel coerced or feel like they're put in a position where they have to do something even if they're not wanting to do it because they feel like it could jeopardize their job or a promotion or time off request or whatever it is. So you should be aware of that. Everybody, I feel like, who's in a management or ownership position should go through some kind of training to be aware of how to act in that position. Now, obviously, that doesn't really exist and most people miss it. Some people are good at it naturally, but some people are terrible at it or just don't understand. And those are the people who end up in stories like this on forums and Reddit threads and whatever about horrible bosses because they're exactly the kind of jerk that we all wish the world had less of. So just another example, if you find yourself in a position where you're in charge of people or you have an uneven power dynamic and you're the one with more power, just be sure that you treat that very carefully and you don't take advantage of it and you don't use it or abuse it in ways that you shouldn't, because it will come back to bite you sooner or later. And I feel like this guy probably got exactly what he deserved, not just because he got sucked into a pyramid scheme in the first place, but then he actually lost his job over it. So hopefully you learned something from that. But now you can learn something from it without even having it happen to you.